Hello, everybody. It's Mr. Robby here. I want to talk for a few minutes, not about rumors, not about speculation, and not about diagnosing anyone. I want to talk about behavior, and specifically, behavior in moments when empathy is expected. After reports began circulating that Rob Reiner and his wife had died, details were still unclear. No suspect had been officially named, no arrest had been announced, and facts were still just emerging. In that moment, President Obama responded with restraint, empathy, and humanity. Donald Trump chose to respond very differently, and I'm not going to repeat his words here. They were cruel, unnecessary, and upsetting, and most people have already seen them or heard about them. If you've watched my earlier videos, you already know that I've spent time going through the research, the psychopathy checklist, the traits, the warnings. That work is already there. But here's something that matters, and it matters a lot. Psychopathy research doesn't focus on calm moments. It focuses on behavior under moral pressure. Moments of uncertainty, tragedy, and ambiguity are exactly when empathy, restraint, and basic human decency tend to show up, or they don't. And when they don't, people notice. Now, I want to be clear about one thing. I'm not diagnosing anyone. I'm not a psychiatrist, and I'm not claiming this is a medical conclusion. What I'm giving you is my personal judgment as a citizen, a voter, and someone who has paid close attention to this man's behavior for years. What matters most isn't the exact wording. What matters is the choice. When facts were still unclear, Trump didn't pause. He didn't express sympathy. He didn't wait for information. He chose mockery. He chose ridicule. And he chose to turn a moment of tragedy into an opportunity to attack. I'm going to be honest here. In my opinion, that is depraved behavior. Not medically, morally. I'm not calling this an illness. I'm calling it something far more basic. A lack of empathy so profound that it shows up when it matters most. In psychology, one of the most serious red flags isn't anger by itself. It's the absence of empathy under pressure. Another is impulsive speech without regard for harm. And yet another is using tragedy as a stage instead of a moment for restraint. I'm not assigning labels here. I'm describing patterns. This isn't about being offensive or politically incorrect. It's about how someone with power responds when restraint is required, and whether that response tells us something about who they are and what they might do when the stakes are even higher. You don't need a diagnosis to recognize patterns. You don't need a checklist to feel when something is wrong. You just need to pay attention to behavior, especially when it happens under moral pressure, and then ask yourself a simple question. If this is how someone responds to tragedy, what happens when they face real consequences and no guardrails at all? Thank you all so much for watching my videos. I really do appreciate it. Please like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment. Even an emoji as a comment helps the algorithm push my videos out to other people. And don't forget to smash the notification bell so you will always know when Mr. Robby Says has something to say. Together, we push back. And if you would like to support me, you can leave me a tip on Ko-fi. Just scan the QR code on screen or click the link in the description below. Thank you all so very much again. You'll see me later.